This is a story that remained buried in classified archives for more than 70 years. A story of deception, courage, and a mission so secret that even the soldiers fighting on the front lines never knew it happened. Our story begins in the winter of 1943. A time when Nazi Germany was racing to build a weapon that could have changed the entire outcome of World War II. A weapon experts today still call the ghost device. Allied intelligence believed the Germans were developing an experimental long-range guidance system, something far more advanced than the WWII or WWII rockets. A weapon that, if completed, could strike London, Moscow, or even New York with terrifying accuracy. But there was a problem. No one knew where the research was happening. Rumors pointed to a hidden laboratory deep inside Germany. Somewhere near the Harz Mountains. A place camouflaged as a civilian research institute. Protected by the SS. And completely off the grid. That is where our story takes us. In a dimly lit basement in London, 4 individuals stood around a wooden table staring at a single objective: infiltrate, identify, and sabotage the Nazi ghost weapon program. These 4 were not ordinary soldiers. Each one had a skill the mission could not survive without. Captain Adrian Locke, a former engineer who could build or dismantle anything. Evelyn Grant, a cryptographer whose genius broke more German ciphers than anyone in the British ranks. Marcus Hale, an American pilot with experience flying behind enemy lines. And finally, Otto Schäfer. A German-born linguist who had escaped the Reich before the war. If anyone could blend in, it was him. Their operation had a name. Nightshade. The briefing was simple, but the mission impossible: enter Nazi Germany under false identities, reach the secret laboratory, steal the research documents, plant explosive charges, and disappear without a trace. No backup. No extraction unless by miracle. No room for mistakes. The team began their journey disguised as workers for a German industrial consortium. They traveled through Denmark, into northern Germany, then deeper into the heart of the Reich. At every checkpoint, the tension felt like a weight crushing their lungs. Evelyn carried forged documents. Otto spoke perfect German. Marcus kept his eyes down. And Adrian watched every corner, every gesture, searching for signs of suspicion. After 4 days of travel, they reached their destination, an unmarked compound buried beneath layers of camouflage netting and fog. The building seemed to breathe cold air, like a metallic beast lurking in the mountain shadows. The Nazi guards at the entrance inspected everyone meticulously. Otto handled the questioning flawlessly, speaking in a stern Berlin accent. He explained that the new workers had been transferred to assist with technical maintenance. The guards allowed them through. Nightshade had successfully infiltrated the most secret laboratory in Nazi Germany. Inside, the truth was far more chilling than Allied intelligence predicted. Rows of engineers worked on metallic frames the size of torpedoes. The walls were lined with charts of flight trajectories. Strange wires and prototypes were scattered like bones across metal tables. And at the far end of the room stood what the Germans called Projekt Dämmerung. The Twilight device. A long-range guidance system built using early computer logic, gyroscopes, and magnetic sensors far beyond anything the Allies had. If completed, the device could guide rockets across continents with deadly accuracy. Adrian felt a chill run through him. This was not just a weapon. It was a potential war ender. The team knew they needed proof. So they split up. Evelyn accessed the communications room, decoding messages between German officers. What she discovered terrified her. The first prototype test was scheduled in less than 10 days. Marcus made his way to the storage hangar. There, he found crates labeled with the insignia of the SS Scientific Division, evidence the weapon was personally overseen by the highest ranks. Adrian studied the machine components, memorizing layouts and wiring. He realized that sabotaging just one part wouldn't work. The Germans had built redundancies. They needed total destruction. And Otto encountered the deadliest truth of all. In a restricted chamber, behind a sealed iron door, he witnessed the lead scientist discussing deployment strategies with an SS officer. Their target was not London. It was Washington, D.C. If the prototype succeeded, the United States itself would be hit. That night, the team gathered in a maintenance room, speaking in hushed whispers. Adrian laid out the plan. They would plant charges in 3 locations: the main laboratory, the power grid, and the communications hub. The resulting explosion would ignite stored chemicals and destroy the entire mountain complex. No prototype. No research. No second chance. But first, they needed the documents. Proof that could confirm the existence of Projekt Dämmerung and prevent anyone from rebuilding it after the war. Evelyn decoded the safe combination. Otto memorized the patrol schedule. Marcus prepared the escape route, identifying an old supply tunnel leading to the forest. Everything was ready. Until the unexpected happened. The next morning, while Evelyn was copying documents, a German officer approached her workstation. He noticed something off: her gloves were not standard issue. His eyes narrowed. Before he could react, she dropped a set of blueprints on the floor, distracting him long enough for Adrian to intervene and redirect the officer's suspicion. But the incident left the team shaken. Time was running out. One mistake, one slip, and the entire operation would collapse. That night, the team executed the sabotage. Adrian crawled under the main device, planting magnetic explosives along its core frame. Every click echoed like thunder in his mind. Evelyn placed incendiary charges among communication cables. Marcus disabled ventilation locks, allowing smoke to spread faster during detonation. Otto rigged the power grid with improvised explosives made from stolen lab chemicals. They were nearly done when the alarm sounded. Someone had discovered the missing documents. The entire facility went into lockdown. SS soldiers flooded the hallways. Searchlights swept the compound. Radio chatter exploded with frantic voices. Nightshade's cover was blown. The team sprinted toward the supply tunnel. Gunshots echoed behind them. Shouts in German filled the halls. The air burned with fear. Adrian stayed at the back, returning fire to slow down the guards. Evelyn clutched the stolen documents to her chest. Marcus led them through the collapsing corridor as sparks rained from above. Otto guided them through the tunnel, whispering directions in the dark. As they reached the exit, they heard the lab sirens blaring, warning of a catastrophic failure. Their charges had triggered prematurely. The mountain began to shake. A roar like 1,000 storms erupted behind them. A wave of fire tore through the laboratory, swallowing everything in its path. Nightshade escaped into the forest just seconds before the entire compound detonated in a blinding flash that lit the sky for miles. The Nazis never recovered the research. Projekt Dämmerung died that night. But Otto didn't make it. He was hit during the escape, sacrificing himself so the others could flee. His last words were simple. Make sure the world never sees what they were building. When Adrian, Evelyn, and Marcus finally reached Allied lines, they delivered everything: documents, schematics, and proof of Nazi Germany's most dangerous secret weapon. Historians later confirmed that if Projekt Dämmerung had been completed, the war could have dragged on for years, with unimaginable devastation. But because of a small team of spies, operating alone behind enemy lines, the weapon was never built. The world was spared. Their mission remained classified for decades. No medals. No public recognition. Yet their silent sacrifice ensured that freedom had a chance. And tyranny met its downfall. This was Operation Nightshade. And this is the untold story of how a handful of Allied spies sabotaged Hitler's most dangerous scientific dream.